Good morning from southeastern Ohio. You can see some woods behind me because this is a project I'm working on this morning. I drove about an hour and a half, and I'm going to attempt to chainsaw down, it doesn't sound right, I'm going to fell some big trees this morning. Just dead ones, and this is going to be a practice before I tackle even more complicated trees that need to come down. So we're primarily removing the dead ones here for the project. But the challenge is, and my mind is full of anxiety about this, I have never chainsawed a large tree, and there's some before, and there's some risk involved with that, of course. So that's about where my mind can help me at this moment, is to say, hey, Charles, there is some danger involved. You better be aware. And so how am I going to approach this? Well, I'll talk about that in my next tweet. So I'm heading back through here. You can see this brush is kind of thick, and I had worked yesterday and the day prior to just cutting a path through here. And I did use the chainsaw for the first time yesterday, cutting down some small saplings and things like that, logs like this that were in my way. I'm gonna get back to the spot where we're gonna be working and show you that area. Oh boy, this is some rough brush. And by the way, I'm doing this alone today, so just me and nature. Just stop a minute. You can see this is like a jungle back here. And we're coming to the area, and you'll see, like, we're not going to tackle this tree today. That's a widowmaker. That's danger and waiting to happen. And, got a few of these bad boys that I'm going to have to figure out later how to deal with, since I'm not an expert at this kind of stuff. So we're just going to get back here. You're going to see quite a few dead trees, a couple dead ones right there, some more dead ones here that are bigger. The ones that are leaning are probably what I will approach first, but I'm not certain. Be back to you. I've got the hat on now, so things are about to get serious. So as I mentioned prior, my mind is anxious because of the danger involved. I'm out here by myself, attempting to, fell some trees, and I am inexperienced. So that said, my approach today is going to be this: to quiet my mind before I cut, because the anxiety is not going to help me at this point. What's going to help me is to be alert, to be very aware. And so each tree that needs to come down, I want to approach by problem solving it with my mind. So being proactive, using voluntary thought to problem solve. How do I fell this tree to make it fall the direction I want? What's the best direction? And then silence the thought in my mind while I'm doing that, and just be very aware and very alert. But even before that, this is something I've tweeted about before with regard to the creative process. I've found that, you can use the mind to create, obviously, and the problem solve. But there's greater power found if you take the time to just be silent. And what I mean by that is to silence the mind and just be aware of the deeper stillness. Out of that deeper stillness comes greater wisdom, understanding, and greater creativity and greater problem solving. So I don't have, like if I'm doing a creative project, I'll apply thought, and then I may let it sit for days before I come back to it. I'm looking for those aha moments that, greater creativity or understanding or idea from deep within. So with this project, I'm not afforded that time of the luxury of a lot of time. So I'm going to apply thought and use that ability to each tree. And then I'm going to pause in the stillness so that I'm very aware before I cut a tree, and then pay attention in that stillness to what pops up in my awareness. So I hope that makes sense. I hope it helps. But if this is my last message, that's my plan. That's how I work and operate. So I hope it's helpful to somebody. All right. Take care. Okay. A lot of adrenaline here. My first big dead tree was felled, and if you can see it, I got it to fall between the two living trees and take down another dead one out here. So, success story for first tree. Well, the adrenaline for survival is really kicking in. I just felled my second big tree and took out another tree that had to come out. So, all right, so there's my first tree, my second tree. This big boy went down over that way and took out a smaller tree that I needed to cut down. So far I scored 4 trees with 2 big removals. This is the clearing that I needed to make, at least half of it. This side over here, some of these dead trees, this one, have to come out. But that's for another day. The majority of these big boys are down. I got a couple dead ones here I'm gonna take, and that's it for today. That was quite the adventure. I don't know, I got down at least 8 trees, most of them pretty good size, a few smaller ones. Did all that with a Ryobi electric chainsaw with the 48 lithium or 40 volt lithium batteries. Brought 2 of those. The thing works really well. Dangerous enough to hurt you or kill you, and danger to the dead trees out there. If anybody's wondering why I'm cutting down trees, we're actually gonna, this is 4 acres, we're actually gonna restore this property and removing invasive species like multiflora rose and these grapevines that have climbed to the top of the canopy of this little woods and choked out the oaks and the big trees. So we've cut most of the grapevines, not down, but cut them so that they can't block out the sun for the bigger trees. And we're gonna remove the dead. Then we're gonna plant native wildflowers and others, and probably more trees actually, that are found in this forest. So, and then we have a little meadow that will also be planted with wildflowers and let them take over and make it more natural of a habitat and attract wildlife, which are going to be free to roam here, not killing anything. We love it all. So that's our plan. Thanks for enjoying my adventure today. Glad I survived. Just found this little guy on the road sunning himself, a little box turtle. He's in his shell right now because he doesn't know what the heck this strange dude is doing out here, but I want to get him off the road so he doesn't get run over by a car. So have a great day. Mr. Turtle says hello.